Effective resume building. So as you know very well that resume is a very important document that helps to give the good job opportunities. So you need to draft your resume in such a manner, in such a professional way, so that it can attract the recruiter, and they can call you and they can select you as according to your knowledge, according to your experiences, skills or achievements. Okay, so first of all, what is a resume? So we can explain the resume as it is a brief account of the applicant's background, skills and accomplishment. Okay, it is a summarization, it is a summarized document that specifies the individual's knowledge, skills, or we can say experience or accomplishment or achievements, whatever he or she has made in the career. Okay, what is the purpose to prepare the resume? So the goal of any resume is to get the applicant an interview. Through presenting the resume, through presenting the your profile, you can easily get a good job. Okay, when all the specification will be very much clear in the eyes of the recruiter, then obviously they will call you, they will contact you, or they will approach you for the interviews. Okay, so that you can get a good job opportunity. Okay, so why it is important? Because it is important to draft the resume in such a manner or in a clear and precise manner, so that it can be free from any kind of confusion. The length of your resume should not be too lengthy or should not be too short. Okay, so that a balanced format can be there to draft the resume. Okay, if it will be too lengthy, it can create a lot of confusion. The things can be mixed. Or if it will be too short, then maybe the recruiter is not able to understand your achievements, understand your skills or experience in a proper manner. Okay, so there should be a balanced length, or there should be a balanced format while you are drafting, while you are preparing your resume. Okay, then how do we write a resume that will get us noticed? Means how we can write the resume, how we can draft the resume so that the recruiter can attract towards our resume. Okay, so there are two major considerations while drafting the resume. First is format and second is sections. Format means the pattern on which you are drafting the resume. Okay, or section means the different headings that you are mentioning, like your education qualification, your professional qualification, your expertise or your experience. Okay, or your roles and responsibility, your hobbies. So all these come under the sections. So we will discuss one by one. Format. So format we can easily explain that it is the way something is arranged or laid out. Okay, so in format we can have like no more than 1 or 2 pages in length. Your resume should neither be too long nor be too short. Okay, there should be a specified language, there should be a specified format you should adapt while writing the resume. Okay, then there should be a margin of 0.5 to 1 inch. Means the space or the margin between the lines between the sentences or side corners or below and upper corners should be 0.5 inch to 1 inch. Okay, then you should not make so much space in the document. Okay, so that it can look awkward while we are seeing the resume. Okay, so it should look like a proper systematic document. For that we should avoid too much or too little white space. Okay, then we should always list the content in reverse chronological order. For example, if we are mentioning the qualification, okay, so for that how we should write? Like we should mention the last education first. Like if you have done a PhD, so you will specify PhD first, like I have pursued PhD, or I have pursuing PhD from this university or institute. Then you will mention the professional qualification, okay, or PG, like you have done MBA or you have done MSc or you have done MCA, okay, from this college. Then you will come to the graduation degree, like I have done BSc or I have done BBA or I have done BCA. And then you will come to the schooling. Then 12th, I have done 12th from this school in this year. I have done 10th from this school in this year. So we will follow the reverse order while we are mentioning the details, okay. Second example, if you are writing about your experience, so you will start with your current experience, like currently I am working in such institution, okay. Then you will mention the previous organization, like previously I have worked in these organization and these were my roles and responsibility. Before that I was in this organization and these are my roles and responsibilities, okay. So we will always follow reverse chronological order, okay, while formatting the resume, while drafting the resume. So this is the format we can use or we should use while drafting the resume. Now come to the section point. Section, we should always segregate all the things so that each and every information should be very much clear in the mind of the recruiter, okay. If the recruiter is seeing a resume, so it should be very much clear about all the specifications, about the all education, about the experience, about the skills, about the hobbies, interests, competencies, okay. If you will not segregate the things, if you will not make the separations, not make the sections, then everything will be mixed and it will create a lot of confusion. The recruiter will not be able to understand what you are trying to say or what you are trying to write, okay. Or if a person, or we can say the recruiter, will not be able to understand what kind of person you are, okay. So in section, the what we can include the header, okay. In the header there should be the contact information, your name, your contact number, your email ID, like this you need to give the information in the resume. Then your professional summary should be there, your education, your professional experience and your professional skills should be there. Now discussing in detail, come to the header point, okay. The header should include the name or the recent contact number, okay, that you are currently using, okay, or we can say that you are frequently using that number. That number should not be closed, or that should not be any kind of problem that number should be having, okay. Then email ID, the email ID that you are giving, it should be currently working. First name, last name, email address, contact number, location from where you belong, all these information, all these things should be coming into the header point, okay. Or whenever you are going for getting a job, so always make a professional ID. Do not use such kind of words that is creating we can say foolish meaning, that is giving the foolish meaning or a funny meaning, okay. Always use the professional name while making your email ID, okay. Like Priya Rastogi, so Rastogi Priya 123@gmail.com, okay. So darling Priya or cutie Priya, these kind of email IDs are not acceptable while you are going for the interviews, while you are going for getting the job, okay. It is not acceptable. Or you can use, but these kind of email IDs cannot give you the good impact on your personality, okay. Then if you are having LinkedIn ID, include a link to your profile in your header so that the people can connect to you, or the recruiter can get the details from your LinkedIn profile also, okay. Or through the LinkedIn profile, the recruiter can easily access the information that you have mentioned in your profile, as well as he or she can easily watch or evaluate what kind of people, okay, or to whom you have accepted as the friend in the LinkedIn, okay. or what kind of network you are having in LinkedIn profile. Then second, come to the professional summary. Okay, professional summary, we can say a brief summary of your skills, expertise and career objective. What is the objective of your career? Okay, or we can say what are your skills, like interpersonal skills. If you are going for HR interview, HR job, so you need to specify the skills that is related to your job, like good interpersonal skills, good communication skills, good problem solving skills. Okay, adaptability, like politeness, or we can say hobbies also you need to match with your job. If you are going for HR executive or HR manager, so your hobbies should also be matching with that. Okay, your qualities should also be matching with that. Okay, then expertise, then career objectives. Okay, so you need to specify your position. Okay, like you are working as like area sales manager or regional manager or digital marketing specialist, or you are assistant professor or associate professor or professor. So mention your title of your position, or mention all the skills or all the roles and responsibility that you have performed in your previous organizations or you are performing in your current organization. Okay, this is the professional summary. Then education, as I have told you earlier also, whenever you are mentioning the educational qualification, you should always mention in the reverse order. Okay, first you need to mention PG qualification, then UG qualification, then your schooling, your 12th, your 10th. Okay, so so like this you need to mention your education qualification. Okay, or from where you have done that education, or in which year you have qualified that specific education, or what was the result. Okay, have you achieved any prize, any honor from any organization, from any institute, from any university. All these things you need to mention in the education section. Then come to the professional experience. Okay, as I have told you earlier also, what is your job title or job position, like you are working as sales manager, you are digital marketing specialist, or what else. Okay, so whatever the position you are having, you need to mention that. You need to mention the company name or location, name with location. Okay, then you need to describe the job responsibility, what responsibility you are performing, or in previous organization what responsibility you have performed. Okay, what are your key achievements? Yes, you need to list out all the achievements or all the honors or all the certificates that you have get for your good work. So this is the professional experience section. Then skills. Skills, whenever you are mentioning the skills, there are two types of skills, technical, or we can say hard skills and soft skills. Okay, hard skills that are measurable, or we can say technical skills, like you are a technician, or you are a computer operator, or you have done masters in computer application, you are an engineer. Okay, so you are a doctor. So you need to specify the skills that are measurable. Okay, like you have done some certification courses, you have done some software education, and you have get the certificate of that. Okay, so you need to specify technical education here. And soft skills means personal skills, behavioral skills. Okay, so you need to specify in which skill you are good, like you are having leadership skills, you are having critical thinking, you are a great thinker, you are a creative thinker, you are innovative thinker, or you are having good management skills, you are having good interpersonal skills, you are having good communication skills. Okay, so what kind of skills you have, you need to mention that. So you need to mention both your technical as well as your soft or behavioral skills. Okay, then operational section. Operational sections, in this you need to optional section. In this you need to mention all these things that you, in your opinion, that are left behind from your part. Means you have mentioned achievements, you have mentioned your potentialities, you have mentioned your competencies, you have mentioned your education, you have mentioned your professional experience, you have mentioned your achievements, but still something is required to be mentioned, that you can mention in this optional section, like how many language do you know, okay, or do you have any other course, any other experience of work, okay, or any certification, any award from any of the organization have you, if you received, or you have not mentioned that certification or award in your achievement section, okay, or if you have any publication, so you can use this optional section of for all these remaining areas, for all this left out part, okay. So whenever you are writing the resume, there are some tips that I would like to share with you, that be consistent with your formatting. The formatting that I discussed you in previous slide, you should always be consistent with the formatting part, or we can say the font style, the font type, the space between the lines, the space, or we can say the border, the space in the border, always it should be a properly designed. Otherwise your resume will not look attractive, or we can say the recruiter can not show the interest in seeing or analyzing your resume, okay. The length and margin, one page or margin no smaller than 0.5 inches. Okay, so length and margin, you should take care about the length and margins in your resume. Okay, then you should take care about the language, the grammatical mistakes if you have done. So it also shows a negative impact of yours in the eyes of the recruiter. Or whatever language you are using, the language should be very much easy, the language should be very much clear and specified. There should be proper punctuation marks, there should be proper use of vocabulary, or the good selection of words should be there, okay. Use present tense rather than the past tenses, okay. Or if you are discussing about your previous organization, then you have to use the past tenses. So you need to take care of this thing, that where you should have, where you have to use which sentence or which tense or which verb, okay. Then proofreading. Proofreading is very important. Whenever you are drafting any document or resume, you need to have proofreading. Means you need to present, or you need to show your resume or your document to other person also, so that he or she can analyze your resume, or if there is any fault, any lacuna, any mistake in your resume, so that can be rectified, that can be corrected, okay. So this is the resume writing tips. Thank you so much.